so this has made the rounds the last couple of days, and it's making me want to laugh and also kind of yell, so let's watch.
I'm literally shaking right now.
Good for you.
I was just getting groceries, and I live in San Francisco, and I never really feel fully safe.
Okay, under 6 seconds, and I can tell you with an extremely high degree of certainty, this woman is of the deluded liberal variety. How do I know this? Well, for a couple of very obvious reasons, powered by this glorious utility I possess called the wisdom of the Wang, otherwise known as pattern recognition. First of all, she's a young woman. It's about 65% of the way there already. Next up, she's in the capital of we're up to about 75%. Lastly, she's making a video on TikTok and in fear. We're up to about 90%. Anyway, carry on, you clueless bint.
If you live in San Francisco, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
An acknowledgement the feeling is universal in San Francisco. Crack on.
And I just got groceries. I'm walking out of the store, and this guy is walking past me and says, "Move, you stupid bitch," and he spits in my face, spits all over my face. And then I say, "Excuse me, did you just spit in my face?"
You can tell these creatures live in a completely delusional bubble fantasy land, as if someone who just spat in your face is a sentient being you can reason with through speech. As if they're going to instantaneously get a sense of shame and go, "Oh dear, I'm dreadfully sorry, what a terrible social faux pas." What an idiot.
And he says, "Move or I'll rip you." There's also people everywhere, and everyone's just walking by because they're like, "I can't handle something else in San Francisco. It's always something else." I don't even know why I'm posting this. If you live in San Francisco, do you feel this way all the time? I don't feel safe, ever. I literally never feel safe. It's better when it's daylight. But nighttime, no, not leaving my house.
That end reaction is a really accurate depiction of how everyone feels after watching these kinds of videos over and over again, isn't it? Again, pattern recognition. And of course, no understanding of why San Francisco is the way it is. No contemplation, no reflection, no solution, nothing, absolutely not a fuck all. Just a trembling mess doing what all clueless wenches do when beaten with reality. Showcase how detached from it they really are, and then express shock when it finally hits them. I'm sorry, would you like some cheese with your wine? Do the transition, please. Thank you. Conservatives don't do any of this. If they have any grievances, they get pissed off and they can place the blame on the state for doing jack shit when necessary. That's the difference. Like these creatures, and I will continue to call them creatures, not humans. Humans to me are sentient beings with a sense of self-awareness, and with these creatures, that's completely absent. They don't seem to understand or even be capable of understanding. Reality is not progressive. Reality is hardcore right-wing. Human beings respond to their environment, and if you flood the place with the other, you incentivize bad behavior, and you do not prosecute criminals, you breed them. Your senseless progressive laws are designed to facilitate criminality and aid the criminal. Same thing happened with the guy in the subway in New York. Like, this ideology destroys any sense of standards, shame, and order. It's hyper-focused on finding faults, all of them imaginary, by the way, as they tear away at the social fabric of society. And yet, they're repeatedly baffled when the cities go up in smoke. Much like their brains, it's the ideology of a parasite. I don't understand how the concept of incentives and consequences doesn't even exist in the liberal mind at all. The level of retardation is baffling to me. Like, this is the most basic of human behavior 101. How are these people this stupid? And yes, I know the go-to for everyone is, well, you get what you vote for. I hate this phrase, by the way. I don't know about all of you, but I'm not exactly a fan of having legions of idiots destroy civilization around them, and their only potential consequence for doing so is that it might affect them. And many of them are too dull to even understand they are the cause of this. What do you think is going to be the long-term strategy at play here, huh? Oh, we're just going to have cycle after cycle of destructive decline in mental capacity, chaotic lawlessness until the fires burn one too many a building, and suddenly the masses will become enlightened and awakened by righteous fire, and a force of competent right-wingers will take power and resurrect from the still glowing embers a mighty empire and the restoration of law and glorious order. Give me a fucking break. It's San Francisco. You got a better chance of bringing Freddie Mercury back to life. Although do it outside of San Francisco, otherwise he's gonna die from the same reason as he did before. It's a religion to these creatures. They're not sentient beings with free thought. They're lemmings. Yes, some may snap out of it, but many don't, and then they just move and take their cancerously idiotic mentality with them. If human beings could learn and reason with any sense of efficiency, no one would ever be progressive. The ideology is a deluded fairy tale detached from human nature. By the way, This is one of my biggest gripes with democracy, not only because there is no accountability for any of the politicians, a concept many in my comment section don't seem to understand as I try and pry them away from their religious delusion of voting and people power, is that there is no accountability and or punishment for the voters if they vote for something destructive. It damages everyone. I'm not exactly a fan of having a system of government where a majority of morons, both in and out of the political realm, can justify smashing a society to smithereens just because the people said so and there's more of them. I'm South African, trust me, it's not a competent system of government, straight up suicidal. I did a video on this before, but I'll try and explain it to the new people. In our free society, what a joke, we have three parts: media and academia, population, and government. This one right here, media and academia, they run the joint. They corrupt the place with power, hence why we have so many idiots with bad ideas running the place. They shape what we call public opinion. It's an effect. If public opinion on certain issues shift, who do you think is pushing that? Spontaneous bursts emanating organically from the public consciousness? No, comes from academia and the media. Through that, they manipulate the other two, morons in government and morons in the population. The way this idiotic contraption of democracy is supposed to function is based on the will of the people.
But the people are retarded.
However, what if the people are made continuously dumber? You're going to get their ilk either in government or the evil ones who take advantage of their ignorance. What then when they inevitably favor really bad policy? I want people to pause and reflect on just how unbelievably flawed this system of government really is. First of all, most people are dim-witted and politically clueless. They have no idea how government is supposed to work. Secondly, if politicians are supposed to stay in power enacting the will of the people, and they are favoring objectively bad policies, is it the good politician's job then to follow the orders of the plebs like a lemming? Or can he learn and deviate away when they would end up causing great harm? At what point does becoming a bad politician mean being a sane human being? And what exactly is his incentive to become a so-called bad politician and become a good human being? What would be his reward for doing so in the democratic system when his constituents are a bunch of morons? What do you want to happen? The enacting of endlessly bad policies until you bottom out and pray one day that magically the people wake up to the hellish nature of their own ill-informed ignorance and change, do you? These types of people never take responsibility for anything. Why on earth would you think they would start with a sense of self-reflection of their own voting habits and become more informed, if they even can? Their entire worldview is based on granting more power to the state. They vote based on what feels good, not what is functionally effective. They vote based on their religious perceptions, not reality. And you want them to stop that, do you? Godspeed, good luck with that endeavor. In a just society, these people would be told they're thick as sin, unholy, and stripped of their power because their actions have consequences. And it should come back to bite them and only them in the ass. Cheers for watching, and once again, I apologize for nothing.